Welcome, friends, back to my second session with the Artisan of Glimmith. Not much to say. I'll just jump into it. This is really a game that I could maybe even do a no commentary kind of playthrough. But doesn't matter. Rose windows. Let's see if I can finish with the rose windows today at least. All regions must be two fours, and there must be 6 of them. That's true at the very least. Which immediately means that this one has to go in the middle. This one has to go here, this one has to go there. Easy enough. Next one. All regions are L's. Now, this one. I don't do this, or these two are not available. I don't do that, it wouldn't want it, so it does this. And this has to be like this, like that. No, in fact, I'm now not sure of what I just did. Those two don't go together. With which blue can this go? Can go with this one, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Yeah, so some of these puzzles are easier to do than to try to reason how they must be done. I hope that's okay. All regions must be one of these shapes, either 1 or 4. Well, this one is not 4, so it's 1. This one has to be 4 because it has to reach out to this one. This one is just 1. This one must be 4. This one must be 4. This one must be 4. This is 1. This is 1. This is 4. 4. 4. 4. Hello. The game just freezes a bit. And all the regions are L's. What is the main limitation here? This one has to go there. It's the only possible option. Now this one cannot do that, or leaves this one disconnected. Cannot do that, or leaves this one disconnected. There are options, it's not so clear cut. Now this connects to this, which means this one must connect to this one. One has to connect to this one, so that goes there, that goes there. That must go there, and this must go here. That's not possible. We have a secret one there. No shape. We already have a triangle, we are missing a circle. Circle, circle, triangle, triangle. This one is missing a triangle, and this one is missing a triangle, so these two must be the same color. So it has to be something like that. This needs a blue. Has to be like this. And finally, all shades must be one of this. Has to be there. That actually doesn't work. I am missing two, so two more regions need to be. No, 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 no. Oh. That. Oh, another one here. 3. All regions are 3 long or 2 by 2. 2 by 2 for this one. 3 long. 3 long. 3 long. 3 long. 3, 3, 3, 3. It should be something like that. Yes. Rose windows, 33 out of 33, but there are more. Why does it say 33 completed if there are still 2 pending? Rose windows, 1 of each symbol. Oh. How many symbols do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 different windows here. This one is yellow, this one is green, this one is the other green, orange, blue. That. That should help a bit. What is the logical place to start drawing these regions? This one cannot go down or it's immediately trapped, which means this goes here and doesn't go up and doesn't go left, which means this one is complete. This yellow now has to go up. And this has to go up. And the next one it picks is gonna be a green, which means that it doesn't pick this green. So these two greens are for these two. These two are complete now. So this one still needs this. So that has to correspond to this region. It's the only circle it can reach out to. This one must be orange, which obviously means that this is this and that's that. That's now complete. If this is orange, it has to go like this. Complete. We have another 6. Oh, so there are secret puzzles on top of the normal puzzles. It's a big one. No, that's not what I wanted to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 regions in total. Starting with this. These are different colors. This could be green or could be a different color. This is interesting, this part here. I don't know the colors for this, but we have 3 regions in this 4x4. And there is only 3 spaces to go out of it. So this has to be one region. This has to be a different one. And this has to be the 3rd one. Make this yellow too. There's no other way this can get out otherwise. And once you see this, then it's obvious that this has to be that, and this has to be this. Now this one has to grow, this one has to grow, and this one has to grow again. And this is similar. But this could go in one of 2 ways. This can go here, or this can go here. So that's a bit worse. And the same here. And we have 3, but it's not so obvious which is which. That's a pity. Because this could do something like that. No, it cannot. It cannot do that. This triangle needs to reach one of the green. So in fact, this goes here somehow. No, how does this work? How does this work? This needs to reach one of the green ones. If it reaches this, there's no space for 2 regions to get out. Oh, it has to be like this. It needs to be a spiral. So this one can do... Oh, sorry. So this one can do that, and this one can do this. That's the only way. That's literally the only way this can be done. This is similar. This goes here and this goes there. This one needs to go here But this would have to do something like that. It's not possible. If this goes here and this goes here, then we have a similar situation. How does this one get here without blocking this? Like that. Now I'm not totally sure that this is the only way this can be done. Yes, I am. It's not possible the other way. This doesn't select the colors that well to make them truly different, does it? Now it's very likely these two regions are going to be the same. I cannot say that for certain, I think. How is this gonna work? The ones from here will connect to what exactly? This, but then they also need blues. This, they also need greens. How does this work? These three regions on the bottom right will need 3 greens. They cannot get the greens from here because there's already... no, there's no limitation here to be... No, yes there is. There's only 3 spaces to get out. I didn't put that in there. No. So it is the same. Only 3 spaces. This must be 1. Probably like that. This must be a 2nd. This must be a 3rd. And depending on which one gets to the other side of this wall, then that will determine which one gets this side of the wall. This is the only one where there is literally more than 4 exits for 3 regions. I'm still not totally sure how the center is gonna solve. It's like this should be one final big region, and the other things should just move around. That doesn't seem possible. These triangles go with blue. They cannot connect to this. They can connect to this. This. See? Okay, so how are we doing this? This set here doesn't meet with these ones or these ones. It probably meets with these ones. But that would mean that it's missing 3 triangles. How is this gonna work? How is this gonna work? I'm not seeing it. If this one meets with this, then it's missing a circle. I can take one of them, can do that, and take this circle. Another one can take this triangle and join with one of these. Final one, however, is now locked unless it can pick up just one circle and connect with this one. And then here we do something similar. One connects with this and picks up the blue. Second one connects with this and picks up another blue. And the third one connects with except the 3 remaining pieces from the center. So we need something to exit with 2, something to exit with 1, something to exit with 1, something to exit with 2. Is this what we are saying? More or less. This needs a triangle, which would be this. So this one would need that. Finally, we would have another one that would pick up this. To do this needs the blue, the yellow, the green. This one still needs the red. Yeah, this is not gonna work now. But at least it's starting to make sense how this could potentially work. Now this one could connect here and be missing that. This one would connect here with that. Something like this, but these two are the wrong way around. We need a blue then. How are we gonna do that? Let's see. This one needs both. Let's say it picks that. This one needs that. No, that's not gonna work. This picks that. This needs a blue. Like this and like that. I think that works. Yes. 6-7. Solve a difficulty 6 puzzle. And there's another one hidden there. Or this must be one of these shapes. So we know this goes up. And it cannot go that way, so it continues. And it either goes here or goes here. Cannot go there, so it goes here. Has to do that. This has to do that. Some of these are just, I think, forced immediately. Probably not this one. I think I messed that one up. Why everything is so red? Change a bit. Leave a bit. There. Now I have solved 20 out of 20 and 36 out of 33. I think that now is the end of the... No, there's another one there. Everything is 3 tiles, long or in angle. Okay. It doesn't continue, so it's going to be an angle. These two are the same. So this goes here. Oh, that's wrong. Somehow, that's wrong. And yet, no, because if this is not possible, because this can only do that, basically, which means this does that, and this does that. This, doing this, and this could be one of both. Either, so I don't know. But that is true. That is true. That is true. This is true. Ah, what's that? There. Come on, why is this game freezing on me? Come on, computer. Now you must be really done with the rose windows, right? There cannot be anything else hidden around. Let's solve that one. solved 4 additional puzzles. How many more can there be? I think that's it for the rose windows. Let's begin with this section, which is restoration progress. We don't have a name for it yet. Delta. The 2 regions touching this symbol must be different shapes. All regions must be one of these 2 shapes. So this is an angle, which means these 2 are not in angle. This is also not in angle, so this is like that. This is like this. There. And Gemini, 2 regions touching the symbol must be the same shape. Complementary symbols then. All regions must be one of these 2 shapes, so this has to be like that. See, different and different. It's different, only fits this way. This is now a 4, but this is not. This could do that, but then this is impossible. So this does that. That's that. That's that. That, and that. All regions must be same shapes, same everything. Oh no, sorry, 3 or 4. I missed that. This is wrong then. Need to be more careful. 1 or 4. 1, 4, 4, same. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4. 2 or 3. Delta and Gemini. This is 3. This has to be 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. Three long. Different, same, different. It has to be like this or like that. Same, different, same. Seems to be quite limiting, Delta and Gemini, especially together. Can this be? Yes, it can. Just like that. 1 or 4. This is 1. This is 4. This is 1. So far, so good. That is 1, so this is 4. This is 4, so these 2 are 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4. Two and 3. This must be the same. This must be different. These 2 are the same. These 2 are different. This cannot be just a 2, or this one would be empty, so that goes there. This is also an angle, but this is different. That goes there. There, there, and there. These 2 are different, so like that. This one was hidden. 2 or 3. We know that's true. Different one, so that's correct. These two are the same, so it has to be like that. Different, so 2. Same. There are several ways this can be done. I think it's gonna be like this. Two and a star. One of the two sides of this is a star. It cannot be the right side, it has to be the left side like this. All of these are forced, basically. Two and 4. This is the same. One of the two sides is a ring, and it has to be this one. Yeah, only one ring, everything else were simples. Simples. One of the two sides. This cannot be the case, otherwise you end up with an empty space. All of these two are angles. And this is an angle too. Gemini and Delta, that's the name of this area. Well, no, this can go there. This is a 3. In fact, it could be helpful to just use 2 colors here. We don't know what that is, but this is 3. Now this cannot be like that, which means this goes down and this goes there. This is impossible. How did I come to this? Let me think this again. This is a 2. That's true. This one is also a 2. I don't know which way. Which means these two are part of a 3. This doesn't work. This doesn't work either. Which means it's this. Now this is a 2. And this is a 3. This is a 2. This is a 3. 2 and 3. That means this is another 3, this is another 3. 2 and 2 and 2 and 3. This is an L. It doesn't fit otherwise. This is also an L. And go here. And this is also an L. And this is also an L. Everything are L's. This cannot be an L. So this, wait, it could be an L like that. No, but that's not gonna work. It's helpful to use colors or nodes to mark which shape occupies a cell. Yeah, and you do nodes. Oh yes, you can do nodes. Okay, that's what I was doing before. This is 2, so this is 3, this is 2, this is 3, so this goes there. Sorry. This is 3 in angle. This is 2, 3, 2, 3. This 3 has to be like this, this 2 has to be like this. What other limits do we have here? Not a lot, really. This has to be an angle. It connects, this angle has to be like this. Solved. Five for 3. That's a 3. That's a 5. That's a 3. Now, this 5 is a bit limited. It can't do this. It cannot do that. So it does that. Now, if this does this, both of these are 5s, which apparently works. That would go here, 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 but that doesn't work. We are left with 4, which we cannot fill in. I think this doesn't do that. I missed this. I think that means this has to be this. This is not possible. Has to be that. That's still not possible. That would work this side. That would mean all of these are 5. Yes, that works. That actually works. Where do you have more puzzles? Here. This has to be like that. That has to be like this. I think this needs to be like that. Yeah. These are not really difficult in general. It's... Oh no, sorry, this is different. I read that wrong. No, sorry. That has to be different, and that has to be different. This has to be different. Like that. This has to grow, this has to grow, this has to grow. It needs to keep growing, keep growing. It could finish here. This needs to keep growing and it has to finish. Now this has to finish, now this has to finish. Now this has to be at least this high. Then here. Except the last one is not correct. And this has to grow too. This cannot keep going. I've done something wrong here. Yes, these are Gemini. This has to be the same shape. Gemini and Delta. That just opened some new puzzles. Three blocks. And Delta. Well, this has to be at an angle. This must be straight. This must be straight, so this must be at an angle. Straight, angle, straight, no, straight, 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 angle. And the same but with Gemini. This is straight because Gemini. This is straight because Gemini. Straight. And again, 3 blocks, but combining Delta and Gemini. Let's see. One seems a bit harder. Where is the beginning? Where is the starting point? This is an angle, but we don't know if it's like that, or like, it's not like that. It can be like that. So this is straight, so it has to be like this. Now, this is also an angle. So this is also an angle. Which means that this cannot be straight. So this is an angle. If this is an angle, it has to be like this and like that. Now this is straight and this is an angle. straight, angle, but it cannot take this one because these two are different. This is a straight, so it has to be like that, like this, like that. I suspect this game doesn't make for the best videos. There's not much I can really comment as I solve these puzzles. Hopefully the music makes up for it. Good thing is these are easy to edit. This has to be 3, you cannot fit a 4, but this is a 4. Which means this is a 3. I should use, when I know the color. Yellow is gonna be 3 and green is 4. Other colors are whatever. Now, what do we have here? I don't think we can put 3 down or 4 down, because then you don't have a space to fit a 4 and a 3 on this side. So this has to go like that and like that. Or maybe like that. So these two are the same. But how do we know? Where is that now? These go up and up. And these two are different, so one of the two is a 4. Cannot be, this cannot go up because it doesn't fit, so it has to be like this. And this is also 4, which means this is a 4 and this is a 3. But not that way. The solution. We have 2 different shapes again. Has to be like that. And this one is different, so it has to be like that. I'll go with random colors now. 3 and 4, yeah. This has to be the other shape. Has to be this. This is this shape. This one is also this shape, otherwise this would get isolated. We don't know where these two. Yeah, this has to be this. There is no way of fitting. This one could be like that. This is possible. We don't know. But it does that. That is certain. But this does that. That is also certain. Which means that this is one of the other shapes. cannot be like that. It can be like this. It is like this. A hidden one, 5. Delta, Gemini, 2, 3, or 5 long blocks. But we know these and these are different. Since these two are the same, but this is different. The only way of filling in the central cross would be with 2 shapes. 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks. We know it's not the case. So either this is doing that, or that is doing this. How would that work? No, this doesn't work because this has a Gemini here. And if you do that, then this is empty. In fact, I think that goes like this. And these are 2. This is a 5. We don't know what this is. This is a 5. Now, this has to be a 2. There is no option for anything else. This is a 2 also, which means this is a 2. This is a 2. Could be a 2, or this could be a 3. Now we know that this is also a 2, but we don't know which way it goes. That is a 2. But this is a 5, so it has to be like this now. It either goes this way or that way. And this is also a 5, which has to be this way and then either goes that way or that way. But it cannot go that way because then there is an empty space. So this one goes like this, which means this cannot go this way or you have an empty space, so it goes like that. So this is a 3 blocks space. Now that's the 2, it has to be. This is also a 2, but this could be a 5, this could be a 2, a 2. No, it cannot be. If you have 2 and 2, then this doesn't work. So this is another 5, and this is a 3, as we said. Now, this is not a 5 because of this delta, so this is another 2. Now we have to do some more 2s here, at least until there. It has to be a 2. We know this is a 2. And we know this is not a 2, sorry. This is a 3. Now this is 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. One of the 2. But the important thing is this is not a 5. If this is not a 5, then this is a 2, and this is a 2. This is a 2, and that's finished. Just fix those colors. Yeah, that's finished. So we are still missing at least 6 of these patterns. Maybe more. Shape bank. We have an F pentomino and a 2 block. This is an F pentomino. And this is an F pentomino. This has to also be an F pentomino and also be an F pentomino. Now this Gemini, so this is another F pentomino. Now, do I know exactly? It has to be like this, right? There's no other way of fitting an F pentomino there. Now this is a 2 block. This could be an F pentomino here, or this could be an F pentomino like that. That doesn't work, so it's like that. This is a 2. Now we have 5, 5, and 1, 2, 5. There's 2 2s and 2 F pentominos, basically. Yeah. Let's do this floating island. Delta and Gemini, but no shapes. These ones cannot be 1 block, so they have to grow. And they are also different. But this one is the same as this one. This also has to grow. Now, this cannot keep growing because this one cannot replicate that. This does that. This is different to this, but this is the same as this one, so this has to do this. And that doesn't work. Interesting. Our logic is flawed. Where? Undo, 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 undo. Restart. That is true. Now, this and this cannot be a 1 block because they are different to this 1 block, so they need to grow. And they also are different to one another. So one of the two at least needs to grow. Also this needs to match this one. So it has to grow. This is dead. This cannot grow because this couldn't replicate, and if we try to make something more different, then we get a delta and a Gemini between the same 2 regions, which is impossible. But this is done, which means this is done. I see. This doesn't end here. This ends here. Which means we get that. Similarly, this has to grow, but this needs to grow somehow. And these two need to be the same, which is at the moment impossible. How would we make these two the same? Like that. Shape bank. Okay, so that's a 4x4. This is also a 4x4, and this is also a 4x4. We don't know if this is 3 or 5. We don't know if this is 3 or 5. And therefore, this has to be a 3. We don't know if this is 3 or 5. And looking at this part here, the only way of solving it is if this is a 5 and then this is a 4. Similarly, this must be a 3. This is at least a 3. We don't know if this connects to this one because this could get here, but it certainly goes down. And the same here. So this has to be a 4x4. There's no way of growing it otherwise. And the same with this one. And now it's obvious this is a 5. This is a 5. This is a 3. This is a 5. There's one in that kind of gazebo. Ooh, a difficult one. 4, 6, or 9. Delta and Gemini. This has to grow to be at least 4. It cannot. And this has to grow to be at least 4. I was going to say it cannot do this, but it can because this could be like that. But that's not true. It cannot be a 9x9 because that would clash. That much is true. Can this be a different shape then? No, because you would end with Delta and Gemini. In fact, I think this needs to do that. This needs to do that. This cannot go there. This cannot be a 6, so it is a 4. And this is a 4. But now this also needs to grow. It cannot keep going that way, so this is a 6. 4, 4, 6, 6, 6. No, I broke. I messed this up. This is now impossible. That's wrong. In fact, maybe I should start here. This needs to get to at least here. It could grow one more line, but at the very least, this is true. In fact, there is a lot of things that we know are true. All of this is true. Now, that means that this cannot connect that way, or this way, but it could grow. This is also complete that and that. Now, this is the same as this one, and this one cannot be a 3x3, there is no space. Whatever it does, it's 2x3, so this is complete. We don't know if this goes up or if it goes down. This one cannot grow to the left, or it would leave no space for another one. This one could grow up to here, but then this is a different one for certain. You also know this is a different one. As we know after every... Yeah, but this is not that helpful, right? This is not that helpful. It could be a bit confusing because those could be the same shape or not. This is true. But this cannot be the same shape. These two were the same. That's broken. We have that and we have this. That is done there. And similarly, if this goes here, that's broken. So this actually has to be like that. 6 and 6. And now this one has to be a 2x2 because it cannot be a 2x3. And then this is also 2x2. And this one is not a 2x2 and it's not a 2x3. So this is a, make this red, a 3x3. So this goes here, this goes there. This cannot grow that like that, or it will be broken. So this is done. This has to be like that. This is done. Means this is like that, and that's like that. Correct. And it has to be a 3x3 because it can't be a 2x3. This has to connect to this one. And we said it cannot go down because this is now one shape. That's done. That's done. And we don't know if these are both 2x3s or 2x2s. At the moment, both are possible. This is a 2x3, so it needs to grow. Okay. Yeah. Where else can we make any progress here? Here this could go left, or it could go down, or it could... I think we will need to know how this resolves to know how this resolves. I am in fact almost certain... No, there's literally no way of knowing. I think this is gonna have to be a 2x3, so this is a 2x3, so this is a 2x3, because I think it wouldn't have a unique solution otherwise, but we'll see. This is a 2x3. If this goes down, this has to grow. I'm not sure. Not sure where is the next bit that I can solve here. These two are the same. And this would be a 2, 2, and this would be a 2 by 3. Or this could be a 2 by 3 and a 2 by 2. If this is a 2 by 3, then this has to be a 2 by 3, and then this has to be a 2 by 3. I think that is correct. I don't know if this game can use that kind of uniqueness logic to it. These two are different. I don't see where the next logical step is. It has to go up, and it's not a 2 by 3, so it is either a 2 by 2. Oh no, that's it. This has to reach here, and it's not a 2 by 3, so it's a 3 by 3. And this one is a 2 by 3, it has to get there. This is a 2 by 2. That means that this is also 2 by 2. Now this is similar, this has to go down. It needs to reach here. But it cannot be a 2 by 3, so this is in fact the same region. Like that. This one is different, so first this finishes here. Which means this has to fill in this. So these are the same, and this is a 6. And now it has to pick up those two. This has to pick up this and cannot be a 3 by 3, so it is that. This has to pick this. This has to be different, so it's 2 by 2. And that's the solution. We are missing some, right? Yeah, we are missing at the very least one. Hidden somewhere. There. These two are the same. This is the same as this, so it has to grow at the very least like that. We have to keep going. How do we make these two fit? These two work? Whatever the shape is has to come this way. Cannot reach this. Maybe something like that. Like this. No, this is not the same. Yeah, that works. Sometimes these puzzles are easier to solve than to try to explain how you're solving them. That's Gemini and Delta Dawn, but are there any of those extra secret puzzles in here? Like in the rose windows? Strangely enough, seems that's not the case. Ah, wait, there's this one. Delta and Gemini, but without any kind of block restriction. My screen, I'm going to take my screen or my HDMI cable. I'm going to throw it. Let's start with colors. That and that, those two are different. One of the two has to grow. If this grows, then it has to be like that, and like this. And that's broken. Because now this is impossible. If it grows like this, or if it grows like that, both cases, it's broken. But this one grows. That's done. This one has to grow. Oh, screen. Stop doing this. And it's different, so it has to grow, but it grows differently to this one. Now, that and that are the same, while this is different. This is a new shape. And this is the same. Now, if this grow one more, this would be broken. So I think this is a two shape. But that's broken. How can my logic be already wrong? Let's start again. We have two, which are different. That means that at least one of them grows. And not both of them grow, because if both of them grow, this is already broken. Gemini and Delta can join the same regions. If this one grows, and this is finished, this has to grow. This could keep growing up to here. In fact, this may be it. Yep, that was it. Too much effort trying to explain when feeling it is easier. That's an extra puzzle for Gemini and Delta. Is that another one I see in between the trees? Yeah. That's one that has to be a 2. This one is not a 1 or a 2. Cannot go that way. So it's like this. Anything else hidden? It's so weird having to search for the puzzles like this. Not being able to rotate the camera in particular is limiting, but unusual. Oh, there's one in the wall. Two strange shapes. What happens? You have this, and then you have that. Doesn't work because of this. But what if it's like this? That also doesn't work because of that. Okay, let's think about it. This connects either to here or to here. If it connects to this, then these two are different, and that's impossible. Because now this has no option. In fact, this connects there. And it doesn't connect there. That means I think that this is the shape. Wasn't there a way of filling in? I forgot. I think there is a way of filling in bucket queue. That's the way. But now this is broken. This is wrong. That cannot be this area with this being this area. I am still missing something here. How does this part work? If that's like this, that means that these two are the same and this is different. I'm being terrible at this one. But that's that, and that's that. That's what we know. Now this has to grow. But this in particular has to be this doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. I think both of these need to be in inner shape. And if that's the case, then it has to be like that. Or this is the other shape. So this is that shape, this is that shape. And this is the other shape. There. Oh, that was harder for me than a 3 should have been. I can't see anything else right now. There are more. They are very well hidden. There were 4 on the other side. I don't know if... I don't think that means there's always going to be 4 extra puzzles. Well, that's Gemini and Delta. Steam Artisan, I apologize for the preponderance of constraints I've laid upon your work. Many further rules are yet to come. This area is optional. You may proceed as soon as 4 windows are complete. I command your diligence and persistence. Yours truly, Elias Vidimus. How long is this game? I don't know how many areas are going to be. Hey, bank. That's an easy tessellation. Where should I go next? Let's go towards the houses here. 3 by 4s. We know that's certain, that's certain, and that's certain. It cannot do this. That would be broken. Which means this has to be like that. Means this has to be like this. Another easy tessellation. F pentominus. That's not necessarily true. This one has to go this way, right? If it doesn't... Yeah, it has to go that way. And then it can do that, or it can do that. Has to do this, in fact. Oh, screened. I'm telling you. I need to go and get a new cable, see if that's the cable. I don't know if it's the cable, I don't know if it's my graphics card starting to die, which perfect year to die, graphic card, of course. I have no idea. The other outputs works fine, it's only the HDMI one. And the thing is, I can see that no, it has to be the wire. Because even when the screen fails, I can still see it fine on OBS. Doesn't matter. On larger puzzles, guessing can get you into big trouble. Only color shapes that you know for sure. Shape bank. Okay, so this has to be like this, like that. This we don't know. This cannot be like this, can be like that, or can't be like that. I think it has to be like this. Now what? This is not possible. In fact, this has to be like this. It's the only option. Yeah. Don't know why that wasn't clear or obvious from the beginning to me. Then shape. Like an animal or something. I think I remember this one from the demo. I didn't think the demo got this far though. Hey long. There's only one shape, it's usually easier. You just need to see where it doesn't fit in one way, and then it has to be the other way. Okay, it's only difficulty 2, so the fact that it looked more difficult to me is a lie. This is not doing that. This is doing this. And it's not doing that, so it's doing that. And once you have that, the rest should be easier. Shape bank. So this area is just around shapes. 2 or 3. Well, we know whenever there is corner, there is at the very least a 2 by 2. Now that immediately shows some shapes that cannot grow more. Now this is a 3 by 3, and this is a 3 by 3. This is a 3 by 3, and this is a 3 by 3. Five in a straight line, or a pentomino, or an I pentomino. Reload that. Easy enough. The first law of puzzlement. Whenever you find a pair of cells that must be connected, join them together. 2 or 3. You know, these go together. And these go together. I don't like that. But we know this is true, but this could be forming. This could keep going up, or they could connect to the left and to the right. But that immediately shows that this and this is a 3, which is immediately broken. Because I'm wrong, obviously. That is valid. In fact, this doesn't do that, or this is broken. Because this certainly does this, and that does that. And now this certainly does this, and that does that. And this certainly does this, and that does that. And now this is that. That is that. These are now true. And now we have the same. This and that. And this is a 3 line, and this is a 3 line. And now the only way this will work is like this. Similarly, this only works like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. That was a nice one. I like that one. It's actually teaching you a bit. All regions must be one of these shapes. We know that does that. It either connects to the top, or it goes to the right. This is now forced. This has to do this. This is part of a 3 line. It's not this one. That's broken. It's not this one. That's broken. So it is this one. Second law of puzzling. Whenever you find a pair of cells that cannot be connected, draw a border between them. This to grow, this to grow, this to grow. one of these shapes. These two cannot be connected. There is no shape that works like that. Now, how do you get out of here? Like that? No? No. In fact, where does this connect? The only way is this. And I think this is similar. Where does this one connect? Same. This cannot connect like that. Has to connect to this one. No, that's wrong. In fact, that's wrong. That's how that connects. Now what? That's not possible. That is possible. That's not possible. So that has to be like this. This is not possible because now these two are cannot connect in any way. This is correct. Now this has to go here, and it could still go one more. But it doesn't need to necessarily. This can go to the left. So this in fact has to be like this. And now I've broken it. I'm going to be happy with how these things connect. No, I've done a bad job at this one. I think same way I started here, I should have started there. All of this is true. And we do that this has to connect this way. There's just no other way of connecting the corner without leaving one in isolation. And same here, that's not possible. That could be, that's not possible. Now this is similar. That's not possible, leaves 3 in a row. That is possible, that leaves 1 in isolation. It has to be like this then. And now this has to be like that. Now this is looking better. In fact, this is solved like this. And that's the shape bank. But there are still 9 more puzzles in the shape bank hidden. Well, not hidden, now active. But I would really like to take a look at this central place. What's that? Note what you know. The key to success in trickier puzzles is marking down partial progress. Merge cells when you know they belong to the same region. Draw borders when you know they exist. Do this immediately, even if you don't know the full shape of a region. Filling in the facts will reveal new ways to make further progress until the puzzle is complete. Close windows and Gemini. So as always, same shapes are in different regions. And this has to grow, this has to grow, this has to grow, this has to grow, this needs to grow, this grows, this grows, this grows. Those are the immediate solutions. Now this is a straight line and this is the same shape and it cannot grow more, so that's that. This goes here. Now this is the same shape as this. That's forcing this to be like that. And this is the same shape, so this is like this. And this is a 3 line, so it has to be like that. This has to grow, has to grow. This needs to grow. It has to be the same shape. Done. That is the final puzzle in the market area. And oh my. Okay, this is also a big game. This is going to take some time. This is gonna take some doing. We still have several puzzles in the shape bank that I'm gonna finish before moving on to the next area. But that will be oh, excuse me, that will be on the next video. I've said this before. I don't know if this is good YouTube content. I don't care. Do you? Have you watched this video? Are you enjoying this series on the Artisan of Glimmith? Leave a comment, leave a like. I would love to know that. Either way, these are easy enough to do and I'm gonna play through this game for sure. So I may as well upload it to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time in William Ware Games Corner here in Glimmith. Goodbye.